85-mile-an-hour winds. That was the wind speed officially at landfall. You know, we've had hurricane hunters, of course, flying into this hurricane over the last several days. Well, Nate decided to come to them. Literally, it passed over Keesler Air Force Base, and that is where the hurricane hunter aircraft reside and fly up and investigate. Nate, so there it is, 85. At this point now, we're going to have those winds diminishing over the next several hours as this has officially now made landfall. We'll continue to see that. And also the rain that will be with us the next few days. That's going to be an issue as well, although I don't think it'll be as much of a problem because the southeastern United States has seen very little rainfall the last several days. So that's the latest as far as the wind speeds. I want to talk about what will happen as far as, well, the rain that's going to be coming up over the next few days here as we check in with rainfall tallies that are going to be anywhere from 3 to as much as 6 inches of rainfall. So that's what's going to be coming up in the next few days for the eastern United States. But again, as I mentioned, I don't think it'll be a huge deal as we talk about rainfall tallies here that we can certainly handle across the southeastern U.S. As far as the winds, still looking at gusts anywhere from 20 to 40 miles an hour, although I must say I think the more dangerous winds have now passed us here. As we talked about Biloxi, we had the center, the eye of the hurricane passed right over on Martin Savage, reporting there from Biloxi. It went right over them. And look at the gusts now picking up a little bit on the backside of the system with the winds now turning and coming in out of the south anywhere from 20, 25 miles. That'll continue perhaps 30, 40, but nothing like we saw when the northern eye wall, that was the most potent part of the storm, came in. And that is when we saw those 75 to 80 mile an hour winds. In fact, we had a wind gust in Louisiana at 89 miles per hour. I don't think we'll see that at this point here as the wind speeds will continue to diminish over the next few days. And then the rain will be the story as we take you into Sunday, Monday, and into early next week.
This is definitely an indication that Nate, if not here, is very, very close. But let me show you the dramatic problem that's now readily evident right here. This is the storm surge. Okay, you can see it. This is Highway 90 right here. And the problem is that water is just roaring up. In fact, we've had to move 3 times just in the 12 minutes waiting to do this live shot. It's going to clearly go over U.S. Highway 90, and that's the problem for any first responders. And I'm just going to keep an eye out because there's one coming this way right now. But the water is rising fast. It's now about ankle deep here. It's going to continue rising, and that has always been the big concern right here in Biloxi. It's the high water level that was said to be anywhere from maybe just 7 to 11 feet of storm surge. Now, a lot of it's being driven, of course, by the winds that are pushing it here on shore. And the problem is for these first responders is that they're not going to be able to get through. They know that, which is why they evacuated a lot of the areas that are along the beachfront here, including the casino hotels, at least a dozen of them. It's also why there's a curfew in place to keep people from this major highway, because otherwise people would be coming out here just to look. So this is the real reason. This is what the warning was all about. This water has come up dramatically fast. It's continuing to come up. And it's the real worry that they have here in Biloxi tonight, Brooke.
Martin, let me just stay with you for a little bit longer as you know, as we're looking at these pictures, and for people who are just tuning in, wanting to know what this storm looks like. When we were talking before, the water was behind you. Can you give me a quick lay of the land? Because I'm not sure what's water and what's road.
Right, and it is hard even for us. The water was, I don't know if you can see, there is a white pier sign way in the distance. That's actually where the water should be. It has now come a good 75 yards, and it continues to come in our direction. And it's coming in surges. It's coming in waves, as it would be expected, driven both by the wind but also by the rising tide. That's the other thing, you see. You're starting to have this coincide with high tide in this area. So naturally, those are 2 bad things all combining into one. And once you get the water over the main highway here, it cuts off a route that is used by both the emergency first responders and anybody who's out. So that's why they've told people to stay off. But now also, as you can tell, we've got very strong winds. So that combination, high winds, torrential rain coming down. But just to watch this water rush up here is really something. And we are going to have to move very shortly again because it is just going to get too dangerous in this spot.